Hello, it's Marie again. We're ready for our last stage of the swirl soap. I have my oils here. This time I'm using some olive oil, coconut oil, palm oil, a bit of castor oil, and a bit of cocoa butter. And I'm going to add some French clay to it, just to give it a little bit of a green tint. I'm using about half a teaspoon per pound of oil. So I'm going to go and add it, and I'm going to blend it with my stick blender. First, let's give it a little whirl like this. Alright, excuse the noise, this is a very noisy stick blender for some reason. Get all this clay mixed in. You could also add the clay afterwards, mix it with a bit of soap, and then incorporate it back into the batter. But I find that mixing it with the oil gets it nicely distributed and uniform, and I don't generally get any clumps much. Alrighty. Okay. So now we're going to add our lye. And right now I'm soaping at about 110. And my oils and my lye are roughly at the same temperature. So let's get... And I've got my gloves on, and you can't see it, but I've got my safety goggles on. The thing is that the one time you don't wear them is the time that you're going to have a splash or a spill, and you'll be in trouble. I like to get every last drop. I'm a pharmacist by profession, so a large part of my education was chemistry, so I'm very punctilious? So that's not even a word. I'm French Canadian too, so sometimes I make up words in English. But I like exact numbers. I like to be exact on my measurements, down to the 0.05 of an ounce. Okay, I made another video, and I have a habit of banging my spatulas and my stick blenders against the side of the pots just to get all the drops in, and I never noticed until I reviewed the tape that my, it's very noisy. I've got another video where I made the base soap for the swirl for this bit, and I'm not sure if I'm going to upload it or not, because all you hear is bang, 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 me banging in this the spatula or the stick blender. So I'm going to try not to do that this time. So we've got a green, it's kind of an olive green. I would prefer more of a mint green, but I like green clay. It's natural, more or less, more so than some of the other dyes that you can get. So, okay, stick blending a bit. It's thickening up a bit. That's one word I cannot say, is thickening. Every time I say it, I stumble. It's a good thing I'm not a public speaker. So it's not traced yet, but it's nicely emulsified. And I see a little green thing floating in there. A little clump. If I see it, I'll take it out. If not, it's really not going to matter all that much. trace yet. It's getting there though. Alright, I'm just going to tip it so I can get the light reflecting on this. Nope. I know some soapers actually will add their fragrance oil at this stage, even though it's not at trace yet. And we'll start working with their soap, even though it's not at trace. I've tried it once, and I've had my soap separate on me, so I'm always a little bit leery of stopping too soon. Okay, I'm going to add my fragrance at this point. It's not quite a trace, but we'll add the fragrance. And this is one that I've used before. It's a cucumber. And what I've done is I always add coconut oil, yes, in my soaps, but I always add castor oil in my soaps. I like the extra boost of lather that it gives, but I also like it's a humectant, but most of all it's a good anchor for scents. And what I do is I add the bulk of the castor oil to my oils in the beginning, but I keep a bit back, and then I mix my fragrance oil or my essential oil with it, and it helps to anchor. Another thing that you can use for anchoring a scent is some of the clays. You can mix the fragrance oil or the essential oil with the clay and add it to your mixture. So there's a few little things I've learned over the time that I've been soaping, which is not all that long. But you know what? I started doing it and I got bitten by the bug. I guess some people bake and cook. Me, I make soap. It's kind of nice because you have something that smells nice. It's very gratifying, and you don't have to worry about the calories because there are none. Well, unless you eat the soap, which I certainly wouldn't advocate, although some of them do smell really, really nice. Okay, so this is a cucumber scent. I thought it would go nicely with the sort of green. It's more of a tan color or an olivey green ochre mix. That's quite alright. Very natural looking. Kind of the type of color you'd see out in the garden. In my garden, because it's pretty much wilted. Alright, let's stick blend just a little bit more, just get a little thicker, and then we'll pour it into our mold where I've already put the swirls in. This is the first time I've done this soap, and I'm not exactly sure. I kind of know what I'm doing because I've seen other people do it, but it's always the first time, so you never know what's going to happen. Alright, it's a very light trace. Very, very light trace. I find it very therapeutic to stir soap. Smells nice, nice feeling, relaxing, until you turn on the stick blender, that is. I'd like it a little bit thicker. Very, very light. One thing about this fragrance is it does not accelerate trace. I've worked with other fragrances and you blink and all of a sudden your soap is thick as anything. very, very light. Stir, 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 stir. Wow. I think this was all olive oil. It's not. It's only about 40% olive oil. Which still, I guess, is more than a lot of people put in their soaps, but usually my soaps trace before this. But that's okay. All right. Let's have a look at what you're doing here. Wow. It's very, very thin still. I got time to go do a pedicure, manicure. And if I knew how to pause the video, I would. But I don't know. And if I try to play with it, I'll just cut it off and then I'll have to start a brand new one. I'm not very tech savvy. Come on, soap. You can do it. Yes, I know you can. Right, I talk to my soap. That's pretty sad. Pretty sad. Wow. It's just thin, 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 thin. Okay, well, we'll call it a trace. By the time we get everything else set up, it'll be thickened up a bit. Notice I'm trying very hard not to bang this on the side because it's noisy. Right. Actually, there's not much on here, but I'll do it this way. Okie dokie. That's nice. Fragrance I'm using, I mentioned, is cucumber. It smells more of like a sweet honeydew melon. It's nice. It's very sweet though. It's not exactly cucumber, but certainly it is a nice fragrance. Bang, bang, bang. Alright. So, put this aside for a minute. And this is our mold. And if you can see, I have arranged my little swirls in a pleasing pattern. Well, I've just shoved them in there. No, I did kind of try to arrange them so that they would go in one direction, different directions, kind of symmetrical. So what I'm going to attempt to do now is to pour the batter and try to fill all the nooks and crannies. And then I'll show you what else I've done, because I had a lot more pink soap than I thought I needed. And so I decided I'm going to make another soap with a little bit of a difference. So I hope you can see this. It's going to be a little bit in the way, but apologies. Ay, 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 ay. Whoops. Red alert, red alert. Get back there. Right. Okay. Behave. Oh, you're all kind of wonky. Alright, try this again. A little bit more gently. Nope. Okay, so I'm going to have to pour this. I'm going to have to arrange them after. Sad. Really? Okay. Oh, mamma mia. could have poured batter in and then put the swirls in, but I wanted to get the swirls to be right on the bottom. I didn't want to have a layer of the green soap on the bottom, then the swirls starting. So I might have to just shave off the bottom bit, because I am going to attempt, oh gee, that's not even. I'm going to attempt to have the front of the soap is going to be here, and I'm going to slice it this way and then make smaller bars, but it would be nice. Now how come they were all nicely spaced out before and now they're not? Grr. What did I tell you about, you know, you think you know what's going to happen and yet things will surprise you. You'd think they were a bunch of drunkards. They can't even stand upright. See, now I don't like it because it's not, it's too symmetrical. There, kind of like that, sort of, in a way. Phew. Alrighty. Oh my gosh, it's going. And you know what? I'm not gonna have enough soap to do the rest of my thingy. Well, be that as it may. It's kind of, even if you know the size of your mold and you know how much soap you need to put in your mold, it was a little bit difficult to know how much of the pink soap was taking, how much room it was taking, so how much of the leftover was going to need for the green part. And I made what I thought would be way more soap than what I would need, and it just turned out to be exactly what I need. Oops. Well, exactly, plus a bit smidgen over. I feel like I'm drowning these poor little things. Okay, well this is going to be fun. It's a little bit full. Yeah, it's a tad full. I might try to take out a little bit, just because I'm definitely going to have to plane the top of this soap when I cut it. But it smells good. And then we'll have a little bit left over to do something else. But unfortunately, the other soap that I was going to make was going to involve half pipes, I guess you could call them. So I guess I'll have to make another batter for that. A little bit more. So what I usually do is to I spray it with alcohol so that it won't develop any ash, but in this case I think I'm just going to put saran wrap right on the top. I'll cover it and put it to bed, and in the next video we'll see what it looks like. Bye for now.